We've been asked to solve this system of equations graphically. The first step to solve a system of equations graphically using your TI-83 is to put both equations in slope-intercept form. The first equation is already in slope-intercept form, so I need to convert the second equation to slope-intercept form. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 2x from both sides, so I get 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. Second step will be divide both sides by 3. So if I divide both sides by 3, I get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3. So there's my second equation, and there is my first equation. And I want to put these two into my graphing calculator and see what the solution to the system of equations is. So I'm going to bring on my graphing calculator, and we're going to go to y equals, and we're going to type in our two equations. So the first equation, and I'm going to zoom in to do this, the first equation is going to be negative 2/3 x plus 7. The second equation will be negative 2/3 x plus 3. And we graph these two equations, and it looks like they don't touch. So from this graph you could assume that these are parallel lines, and if they're parallel lines, that means there's no solution. However, what if they intersect off of our screen? Remember, we've talked about our window and we've said, we're only looking at a very small piece of the graph. So what if I zoomed out? What if I made my window larger, say negative 100 by 100 and negative 100 by 100? A much, much larger window. Well, now the lines are so close together I can't tell whether they touch or not. Here's where you have to rely on the graph and algebra. If I go back, if I zoom standard here, and I go back to my regular graph here, these lines look parallel. Well, if you go back to the two equations, I want you to notice that the slope of the first equation is negative 2/3, and the slope of the second equation is also negative 2/3. When two lines have the same slope, that means they are parallel. And our graph shows us just that. So I actually could have answered this question without graphing, because the slopes are equal, but the y-intercepts are different. These obviously are parallel lines. And then when you go back to my graph shows that to be true. So, given that these are two parallel lines, what is the solution? There is no solution. So the answer, no solution. If you have any questions, please come see me.